There we go. Yes, sir. Again, thank you very much for joining. My name's Tom. I'm part of the student opportunities team here at York St John. I recently joined in the summer. Prior to that, I was actually working in graduate recruitment. And before that, I worked in student recruitment for Camp America as well. So I've seen my fair share of CVs. So yeah, this presentation is designed one around a bit of advice on getting yourself out there and finding a part-time job in York, but also a little bit of CV advice as well to make sure that you are giving yourself the best chance of securing a job. So yeah, first things first is making sure you are using LaunchPad online correctly. That's where we post all part-time jobs, volunteering work, internships, graduate jobs. You can find them all on LaunchPad. So there's a really clear video on how to use the online dashboard in terms of actually finding the opportunities and also being able to follow specific companies so you get updated when they post a job and the areas that you're interested in. You'll continue to get notifications from there when anyone posts that similar opportunity. And also, really importantly, you can book your careers appointment on there as well. So definitely advise anyone who comes to York St John to book a careers appointment at least once in your time here to really understand where you're hoping to get to and putting that plan in place to ensure that you are doing the right things to help you get to your end goal by the time you leave university. So in terms of York and part-time work in the York area, obviously the two big areas are hospitality and retail. Now I know these have been adversely affected in the past few months, so there may not be the jobs that were there before, but the thing is that there are still jobs out there. We have huge retail parks here, so you've got the Monk's Cross, Vanguard, Clifton Moor, Designer Outlet, and these businesses, they may not be hiring right now. If you're being proactive, getting your name there, speaking to these businesses, that when opportunities do come, whether it be Christmas temp work, January, leading into next summer when things do get busier and they are hiring a lot more, at least your CV is going to be on their radar. You'll be getting updated directly from those businesses when they are hiring again. Call centres as well as another great option for students. There's usually very flexible shift patterns in terms of the early morning or evening and weekend work. So there's a number of call centres in the York area that you can get in touch with and do that sort of work. And again, yeah, care work is a huge provider of employment in the York area. There's a number of agencies as well who deal with that type of work. So it's about reaching out to these agencies as well as other temporary agencies in York to give yourself the best chance of having your CV on file. So when opportunities do come, they are contacting you there. I mean, with all this, the main thing I sort of touched on there is being proactive, doing some speculative applications. So with a speculative application, you want a generic CV and generic cover letter as well. So we want to make sure we are tailoring your CV and tailoring your cover letter to specific areas. So if you are applying to hospitality or retail jobs, you have a generic CV for a retail job. Your summary, your profile is all geared towards why you want to work in retail and the skills that you have to be a success in retail. So that's what we mean by a generic CV. And going into shops, like emailing companies with your CV. So again, if they're not hiring right now, at least your name is on their radar when it does come to hiring. And again, like be creative. So social media, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, definitely advise getting a LinkedIn profile as soon as you can to really expand your network, not only in York, but maybe your hometown as well, and reach out to people for advice, put posts up on there, people can share it, and people will then start reaching out to you if opportunities come up that they think you'll be suited for as well. Facebook groups is a big one. So there's a Facebook group called Part-Time Work in York. So join that group. There's companies posting in there when they are looking for temporary and part-time staff. And like Instagram DMs, we've had a lot of success in contacting those smaller independent businesses through Instagram as opposed to emails and things like that, because a lot of these small boutique cafes, retail outlets, Instagram and social media is a huge part of their business plan. So if you follow them, drop the message, say, hey, I was walking down York High Street, saw your little cafe, really liked what I saw and thought it'd be a great place to work. Are you hiring at the moment? Can I drop in for a conversation and discuss the potential to work there? And Twitter is similar. So really be creative. Maybe I'm sure of the past 6 months, if you've seen LinkedIn or on the news, people have become really creative in trying to find work and having a video, posting a video, putting yourself out there and really getting your personality across. I think in a lot of these jobs, it is not necessarily always about the experience you have, but what's your personality? How are you going to fit in well with the team? And putting yourself out there with like a video, it will help people come to you as well. Another great way to be proactive is just going in to the shops and the cafes and handing in your CV there. Now, with that, it's okay to hand in a CV and it may get you somewhere, but the really important thing is to hand in your CV and strike up that conversation. Who have you handed your CV to? Who are they going to give it to? What are the contact details of the manager? And then from there, make sure you're following up, whether it be a couple of days later, a week later. Make sure you follow up. Just even if it is unfortunately not successful, at least it's putting your mind at ease that that's not one to go after and you can start focusing somewhere else. But that's the biggest thing, to really understand who it's going to and making sure you have those details so that you can follow up and follow up. Another big one that's coming out next week to keep an eye out for is the Students as Researchers scheme. So this is paid research work alongside staff. So the productivity, it provides a really great opportunity for you to work in collaboration with the staff here at the university, develop research experience. You're going to obviously gain a lot of transferable skills, such as teamwork, communication, and actual workload planning. And these applications open on Monday, the 5th of October. They're going to be open until the 19th of October, and there's going to be 30 of them released on Monday. So another great opportunity for people who are looking for some part-time extra work there as well. What skills to include in your CV if you may not have the most vast work experience in the past? So a huge thing is obviously time management. Can you manage your time? A lot of businesses just want to know that you're going to be there, you're going to turn up on time, and when you are there, you're going to work hard. That's really two of the biggest things that businesses are looking for. They don't want people who are not going to show up on time. So time management, how can you show you've managed your time well? Leadership, teamwork, again, like in project work, anything in the past, where have you had to come together and work well as a team? Because at the end of the day, any business you go into, there is going to be an element of teamwork, but also an element of having to think on your feet and solve problems. So what is a good example of you having to solve a problem, come up with a solution? Because a lot of what you do, whether it is hospitality, retail, care work, it is a lot of thinking on your feet and solving problems. Again, a huge key skill is those communication skills. How well can you communicate not only with the business's customers, but also with your manager, the other people in your team? How are you communicating with them to ensure that you're getting the best out of the day? And that commercial awareness as well. Like when you are going into these shops, these bars, and speaking to people about a potential job, should that commercial awareness have a bit of sympathy in that you understand it's been a tough 6 months for those businesses and they may not be hiring right now, but you want to really help out and you are looking for a job. So even if it isn't now, in 6 months, keep my CV on file. I'm really interested in picking this conversation down the line. And the more conversations you have like that, people are going to see that you are switched on, you understand, and they're going to be reaching back out to you in the future. And that customer care service, all these jobs are very much service providers. So when have you demonstrated in the past that you dedicated an excellent level of customer care service? Really try and hone on that and how you can demonstrate that. And again, like academic and extra curricular success. It doesn't matter what that success has been in, but demonstrating that, again, it shows that you can commit to something, and that you can excel in it. Not obviously looking for any superstars, but having that bit on your CV where you can show, yes, I've done this. This is what I set my mind to, and this is how I succeeded in that. Is really important. Again, just right in there, that commitment and enthusiasm. A lot of these businesses in York are small businesses that are real passion projects for their owners. So showing enthusiasm for their business, like why do you really want to work at their business? What struck a chord with you, and that again was going to really help you stand out from the crowd because these are their projects, they're their babies as such. Any sort of further advice that you want on your CV, you can email your CV over to careers@yorksj.ac.uk, and we'll send out more advice on how to actually improve your own CV from there. So it's definitely a great tool to use. We're here to help it, and we'll send you some more templates and really help you improve your CV from there. So in terms of some, it says true or false, but yeah, so some myth busting in a way. So yeah, should your CV always have curriculum vitae at the top? So yeah, this is false. You don't need to have CV curriculum vitae at the top. Just have your name in a nice bold heading and really showing who you are. If it's set out in the right structure, it's going to be very, very clear that it is a CV and what is there. So yeah, your CV should be tailored to a specific job opportunity or sector. Again, we touched on this before, but it's very true. Like you can have those generic CVs, but make sure it's a generic CV for a certain sector, so that when you are speaking with businesses in the retail sector, that CV is all about that area. Because if you say have a generic CV and it's not the right thing, or you're talking about hospitality, but you've given it to a retail business, it's just going to get thrown out straight away because they can see that you haven't taken the time to put a little bit of effort in and make sure you are tailoring it to the sector. If you've had lots of jobs, your CV might be 3 pages or more. So again, this is false. Like your CV should never be longer than 2 pages. I had my fair share of CVs that were 4, 5, 6 pages long, and it's almost like so much effort to read through that the businesses do just sort of toss them aside very, very quickly. Sorry, excuse me. So yeah, if you have had a lot of jobs, then pick the 3, 4 jobs that are either most recent or most relevant to the job you're applying to, and put information there, and then just put at the bottom the job you've had, but just the details of it. So I worked in this job from this date to this date, and it just takes up 1 line. So just so that you've had the jobs, but you don't need to go into details and stretch it out over 3 pages or more. So yeah, work experience always comes first. So this is false, especially if you don't have the most amount of work experience. It's really important that you are putting the things that are going to sell you the best at the top. So whether this be your skills or your academic achievements or your extracurricular achievements, whatever's going to hook them in and make them read more is really important. But obviously, if you have work experience that is really relevant to the position, then definitely put that first. So your personal profile should be half a page long. Again, this is false. It should just be a really, really succinct, like 4 or 5 sentences, a short paragraph that's, again, just really summing up who you are, why you're looking for work, and what you can bring to opportunity. So again, you really take the opportunity to sell yourself, but don't waffle. Like anything that's longer than a paragraph, again, it's just going to get skimmed over very, very quickly. So make sure it's really succinct and selling yourself there. So bullet points look good on a CV. Yes, bullet points look great on a CV. It's, again, easy for the recruiter or the business owner to read very, very quickly, highlight areas that are positives for them. So when it comes to interview, they can touch on this and say, yep, this tick this box, they tick this box, they tick this box. Whereas, again, if you write it in paragraphs, it's just very difficult to read, and it's not the most succinct version of your CV. So spelling and grammar doesn't matter. It's all about the content. So yes, obviously the content is important, but at the end of the day, spelling and grammar is very, very important. It shows how much time and effort you've put in to the CV. So again, get someone like a housemate, your parents, your brother, your sister, whoever it might be, to read over and just double check the CV, or again, use our service, send it over to us to make sure that everything is on point in spelling and grammar. Information on the CV should be in chronological order. So this is false. It probably should be in reverse chronological order with your most recent job first. So it goes back, it still tells that story, but it has your most recent job first, so it comes back to the point. Also in the past, I've tailored CVs to specific roles. So I had a sales role in the past, went away traveling, then I came back and I was applying to sales jobs. So I had my most recent sales job at the top because it was tailoring it to that job. So it's all about being a bit creative with it to make sure, again, you are selling yourself on that first page. So your details like date of birth, marital status, and nationality should be included on the CV. So again, this is false. These details aren't a necessity. They'll be asked when needed when it comes to after you've secured a job and you need to get on payroll. So all you need to have on there is your name, email address, phone number to ensure that they can get in contact with you from there. So if you do have limited work experience, one solution is to look at volunteering options. There's a lot of volunteering options in York, and it's a great way to get some experience on your CV. So you can see a little statistic there. 73% of employers would hire a candidate with volunteering experience over those without. It's a really great way to build up some connections, build up a network, and build up some work experience there. So if you have any questions regarding volunteering opportunities, the email is there, volunteer@yorksj.ac.uk, for any more information around how you can get the most out of volunteering opportunities to help build up your CV and your skills. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to join me today. Hope it was helpful. Any questions, as I said, type away in the chat now. We'll hang around for the next 5-10 minutes, depending on how many questions we get, and we'll answer them all there. Again, if you aren't already following us, there's all our social media outlets there. So click on there, have a quick follow. We'll post jobs through our Twitter page, Instagram page, all the events that are going on. So make sure you're following us there. And again, any questions, any advice we can give you in the future, jot down the email, jobsandops@york.ac.uk. We're happy to answer any other questions regarding anything in the future to help you secure either part-time work, internships, or future graduate jobs.